Paul, first, please let me give you a small present before we start. This one was printed in Turkey.
Yeah, okay, wow.
This is for you. Yeah, this is for you. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks so much.
And I couldn't help myself when there was so much talk about quantitative easing. I used to work as a financial analyst just before I started to be a president of Liberland. And of course, the quantitative easing was one of the frequent things, and it's always discussed here why the hell we don't see any inflation. What's wrong? It's very easy actually to explain. It's nothing too complicated. If you take a look at the blue curve, it is the money which were overly printed by Fed, and that is more than 350,000 billions of dollars now. And the green line is actually the money that have been saved by commercial banks at Fed. So when you see this was the first round of quantitative easing, the second round of quantitative easing, and the third round of quantitative easing, nothing really changed much in the term of overall money that really went to the economy. And this is, of course, the money bomb which is still out there. The money can go to the economy anytime those banks decide to take them off from the Fed. They have that money there for 0.25%. And they can always buy 10 Microsofts with it or something. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because there was this discussion many times, and not too many people actually realize that the inflation threat still lies in this curve. Whenever this goes down, then of course the money from the quantitative easing goes straight to the economy. So I'll get back to, I wanted to also mention that actually the overall money that are in the economy are just about the same like in the first 3 or 4 months after the start of quantitative easing. So we are about the same scale here and here. So let's get to Liberland. I started a country because, of course, I felt there was very little to be done on a country level. I fought 5 years for lower taxation, less regulations. Okay, we were able to get 1 seat in European Parliament, but that didn't really change much. And I said we have to get much more efficient in order to bring more freedom to the world. And that's how I decided that we need to introduce some competition to the market of states. And this piece of land apparently was unclaimed for 24 years. Neither Croatia, which is this piece here, nor Serbia claimed this piece of land for more than 24 years after the split of Yugoslavian Republic. And sort of because Croatia always thought that the border goes with the old line where the Danube went, and Serbia always said that the middle of the Danube is the border. So I set it up. We named it Free Republic of Liberland. We gave it motto to live and let live. The form of government is constitutional republic with elements of direct democracy, which means that we took the best parts of American Revolution and best parts of Swiss democracy, Swiss direct democracy. We combined them together, and we put some other 400 points which the government shouldn't do in order to prevent happening something like that happened in US, so it doesn't interfere with everything it can. And we said that official language will be English. We set it up on 13th of April this year to honor a birthday of Thomas Jefferson. And we decided that we're going to do a revolutionary concept, a voluntary taxation. Okay, it doesn't sound it goes together, right? But it's the best way how to introduce the idea. We basically want to do all that government does solely on the basis of voluntary decision of individuals. And I think it's very much more than achievable because we don't want anything else from the government than take care of justice, security, and diplomacy. And we can talk here a lot how much does the government actually has to do about security with all these technologies. And I will speak about it at the end of presentation. So when you put Liberland now into the map, you come up with the embassy of Liberland in Prague, which is now one of the 35 embassies around the world. And you can also come up with this place between Croatia and Serbia on the Hungarian borders. And it says closed, that is right. And how is it possible that I was able to set it up and get so much attention? Because international law is quite favorable to setting up new countries. Because you actually don't need any other recognition from any other country to be a country. The only thing that you need to have a country is a will of people to have a country, and a will of people to form a nation. And that is crucial. And the Montevideo Conventions, the regulation on setting up new countries, also said that states are judicially equal and enjoy the same rights, despite the fact they were not recognized. And also it says that if Croatia, after 14 days, when we occupied this piece of land, started to kick out everybody forcefully out of that property, that this act is illegal by the international law, and it's not to be considered. So the territory, it doesn't matter who is now in control, but they forcefully took this territory away from us. And how did it happen? Let me give you a little bit historical background about Liberland. So after 11 days of existence of Liberland, when we occupied this territory and we had tents on the territory and there were the first settlers, first immigrants from Switzerland, which is nice. The Serbia said Liberland is not formed on their territory and they don't mind creation of Liberland. And that was, of course, something that Croatians couldn't digest. So they made a secret meeting, governmental meeting, the following weekend and decided on two things. The first thing was that they will always call Liberland internet joke, which they do not do any longer, actually. And the other thing is that they said that they will put 100 policemen around the area to prevent anybody from entering. And this is actually what they're doing. And this is the piece of land. There is one building there. It's not registered in land registry by any country. If you look into Croatia registry, land registry, you will not find it. Neither the Serbian cadastral map has any information on that piece of land. It's very nice. It's mostly woods. And this is the house that we've got there. These are the settlers that were able to get there after 4 months of struggling 14 days ago. When we posted the picture on Facebook, they were arrested again. And this is how we would like to remake this house. In order to fit 20 members of parliament there, have one window for the justice, one window for security, one window for diplomacy. Right? And because we really would like to stay our government for as long as possible. And we received some serious interest from the world. This is the overall number yesterday. 378,402 people registered on our website, and out of which 67,600 are eligible. And you can see that even in the Netherlands, we've got more than 1,000 of people here registered on our website. And the leader is Egypt, but we've got also refugees from United States and Czech Republic. Right? So they might come for a little bit different reason. And this is also crazy. Now media calling me, you've got 10,000 Syrians. I'm telling, this is only, I don't know, number, which one? Yeah, Syria. Okay, number 6. And they're calling me, well, what you're going to do with all the refugees? We've got the same number from US. And of course, these people who apply from Syria, they are not refugees. They know English, they have internet, they just applied. So anyway, after 4 months of hard work, I was able to set up embassies in some 35 countries. This is how the map looks now. I hope to set up some 6, 7 more by the end of this month. And I would like to have 100 representations around the world. And we've got Arno here. He's sitting back there. He is representing us at the time being in Netherlands. We've got Yoshi, who was one of the early days Netherlands settlers. He sits in front of him. He was arrested for how many days? Now, of course, these are the things that were happening in the early days, and I'm thankful for his support. He was in Liberland, settling it for more than 2 months, I guess. And I'm going, for example, right after this event to Slovenia, where we've got very nice embassy, and I'm going to speak at the Chamber of Commerce there, and I will be promoting Liberland in that. And we've got now around 10 political countries from all around the world. We are also negotiating support from the Netherlandish political party. And we've got a very nice constitution. I will go quickly over this, so I've got some more time to explain our currency. Anybody is very welcome to take part in the creation. If you use GitHub or take a look at GitHub, it's on GitHub. Anybody can comment and add new articles how to restrict government. And we've got now the preliminary government, which is myself, my friend, and my girlfriend. But we are gaining legitimacy by all of these people who applied for the citizenship. They really probably like this, like this government. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't apply, right? So, and in the future, we would like to have assembly of 20 people. If you would like to pass any vote, if it's normal law, then you need 15 votes. If it's change of constitution, you need 20 votes. So, anonymous decision. That will go to Supreme Court, and citizens will be able always to veto any law. I think this is a way how to restrict government pretty severely. Then we've got some visualizations of how the country should look like. But you might be smiling. Actually, the thing is, we've got 1,200 architects who applied for the citizenship for this country, right? So we are actually the second largest association of architects on this earth. And we've got Zaha Hadid. I took lots of pictures, but Zaha Hadid, this is the next thing. We've got Zaha Hadid, which is one of the most renowned architectural studios, actually leading the competition for the architects, and it will start in Chicago on 5th of October. So there will be much more visualizations about Liberland. Yeah, this is a little bit more fun. This was the first currency that somebody proposed, but we are not going to do that. We are not going to print any coins. We are going to introduce a merit system. And I actually think we need something like $100 million to get the country off the grounds, to make sure that Croatia is it's very well assured that we are serious about this project. And there was a CIA report about Liberland which said, the chance for existence of Liberland is higher than 0. Which is nice, right? Well, from the mathematical point of view, it means there is infinite possibilities how we can achieve Liberland, which is also great. And they also said that we have to do something great, something out of the ordinary, such as building a nuclear power plant on Serbia's side of the river and sell cheap electricity to both Serbia and Croatia. So that's why I looked in the database. I found out that we have 20 nuclear scientists. I gave them this assignment, and it will be part of our brochure, this new thorium reactor, which we would possibly build on Serbia's side of river. But anyway, let's get back to merit system. I was always thinking, what do we give back to the people? And it was like, we give them flags, or we give them badges, or we give them lunch with the president, or whatever. And then I thought, okay, why don't we give them our own currency back, a merit system, for whatever either they do for Liberland, or how much they contribute. And we decided, of course, that we accept any currencies, including Bitcoin. We are probably the first country to accept Bitcoin on this earth. And we will also be able to evaluate. Of course, it's a tricky point. We will be able also to evaluate how much energy people put into the project. So if we have now 40 ambassadors, they will receive our merits for the work that they do. And the other great thing is that we will also enable people to exchange these merits between each other, like you do with PayPal, or take merits from government. And this is good. I don't know how many people here know colored coins. Probably, yeah, well, a lot. Well, the founder of the Colored Coin Protocol is a member of our embassy in Israel. He's very helpful in our project so far, and we would like to cooperate, probably using that platform to take merits away from government and also give it to people. And we will also, of course, limit the number of overall merits that there will be in the circulation. And people will be able to buy citizenship for it. They will need as much as 10,000 merits to get it. So for some people, it might take several years. And of course, this was also the intention, because we know that we will need a value of around 10,000 merits from 10,000 people to get the country off the ground. And they will be also able, with these merits, to buy shares in governmental property. So no matter what government does, people will be also able to get part of the ownership. So we exchange the donation for simply exchange of currencies. But for now, it's not a currency. We don't want to have too much problems with the regulators. It's just an internal accounting unit, right? And it's actually already working. If you go to the web page, you can sign in and you use donation. Finally, we got the portal with the credit card company. So we can accept donations apart from Bitcoin. It was also very funny when PayPal, after 2 months of blocking us, told me, sorry, sir, we cannot help you with your nation building effort. So, and I was trying very hard to get the money out of there. I even met Peter Thiel, and he advised me, maybe you should use Bitcoin, which was very funny. The founder of PayPal advises you to use Bitcoin to fundraise money, right? So this is how it will look generally like. You will have tasks as a regular citizen, or you can be as architect there or as a lawyer, and you will see all these tasks that government needs to achieve and number of merits assigned to it, or you will also see your overall balance depending on how much money you donated to Liberland. And there is this one last thing that I would really like to have by the end of the year, and we are already working on that, and that would be like a mobile app. That would probably piss off many regulators, but I don't mind that. It will be like an integration of PayPal services, Bitcoin and colored coin things, and services like Uber and Airbnb. I would like to actually put all these things together in very simple application. So no matter where you are in the world, you will be always able to offer taxi service. You will be always offered to rent any property. You will be able to register any company anywhere around the world in the Liberlandian registry, and then it will show on the map, show your GPS position if you want to show it to the people, and show any kind of service you want to provide. And this was one of the revolutionary concept that I really like. We can also actually start providing all these services which are normally considered to be public services, such as firemen, such as policemen, on a Uber style platform. Why not? If you have people who want to, for example, in this room, who want to make sure that the area is secure, I don't know, maybe they have even gone with them. They can sign in the application, and if somebody has a trouble, I don't know, kilometer away, they can run there and save his life. And they will be rated, just like with Airbnb and Uber. So this is our extra thing, a part of creating of the country itself. We would really like to spread the freedom of transaction and freedom of service around the world. And this is about it from me. This is how the registration looks like. You're very welcome to register. It doesn't cost anything. And this is my contact email. If you wanted to email me, you are very free to do so. And thank you for listening.
That's a very interesting and thought-provoking speech. Thanks so much, Viet. I'm sure there are many questions in the audience, so let's grab the mic. Who wants to ask a question first? Maybe Arno also like this area. Yeah, first start here, yeah, and then.
Hi. You said you don't want to piss off the regulators when you're creating your currency. Which regulators? Aren't you writing your own regulations here?
Well, of course, there is this global government out there already, and this is the project I'm always trying to explain, that even the people who are trying to create a new world order will like this project at the end, but there might be some resistance at the very beginning. Right, so there are all these global financial regulations. That's why the PayPal is so over-regulated. All these financial institutions are over-regulated, and of course, you will be safe. We will be safe as long as you use Bitcoin to donate to Liberland. But we don't know how long it might take for our our portal for cards to be shut down. But I hope it will could at least take a couple of years before Bitcoin gets really strong, and it will be as strong as the payment with cards.
But if it's your own country with your own currency, tell the regulators to piss off. It's your own regulations.
Yeah, well, I wish it was that easy, but
It is. It's your own currency.
yes, but I'm talking now about the, for example, interaction with other banks, right? They can shut you down anytime they want.
Yeah. But that's not regulated.
Yeah, because they are told by regulators to shut us off.
Nou, ga ik proberen.
Wow.
Wat viel er nou uit?
Oh, hij doet het. Ja. Hi.
I was wondering if you are still undertaking any efforts to get official recognition from other countries or other...
Yes, we are working very hard on that, and the reason, of course, is to get us recognized. It's very important. It's not necessary to create a country to get recognition, but it's very good, and that's why I'm setting up all the embassies. And yesterday, for example, I met a person who knows personally all the ambassadors in Hague, and it's very good to have also very well-connected people. And for example, in Slovakia, we've got Richard Sulik, who is the former head of the parliament there, who is now representing our interests there. So we are very highly connected in many countries. We need to use all these connections for the recognition. And all these embassies, they've got all, of course, multiple purposes for creation. One of them is get Liberland recognized. The other one is to get our citizens recognized, to get our diaspora well organized. These are all the people that like Liberlandian ideas, and they're minorities in their own countries. But anyway, just one thing, of course, I already got a number of offers to buy the recognition from somebody, and some of them were very funny. Some of them were less funny, but it's very interesting to see how the diplomacy world looks like. But I don't think we necessarily have to pay for recognition at this stage. It doesn't make any sense for us. We would like to be recognized as a group of people, as a serious nation, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
As taxation is voluntarily.
Pardon?
Taxation is
Voluntary,
on a
yes.
voluntarily basis. What will you do if tomorrow big companies, as Shell, will ask for citizenship of Liberland?
That would be great. It would be very much cheerful. They can also register their company in Liberland in a month or two. So I would be very happy to accept them. Anybody is welcome, as long as they are not religious extremists, communists, neo-Nazis, or some other cracks. And of course, they have to like our ideology of voluntary taxation.
Hello?
Yes.
How big is it? How many square meters in
it's
comparison to the Vatican or...
7 square miles. It's actually 10 times larger than Vatican, 7 times larger than Monaco. It's
Okay.
a very nice place.
And how many people
You
are
can
you
see
wanting-
the sandy beaches there, right? No, I'm serious. This the parts of the sandy beaches when the river is down. It's all the Caribbean style sandy beach. And when I first went there, I couldn't believe that such a beautiful place is on Danube River.
And how many people are you planning to put there?
I'm not going to prepare that, well, but it really depends on the interest.
What do you mean?
And I mean, it's like how many, what is the maximum amount of people you can fit in there? It's like I say, 5 million, but maybe, or 500,000, but maybe later on it becomes easier to transform some other country into Liberland and try to fit more people in that space, right?
Wow. Interesting.
One more?
Thank you very much for this thought experiment, but we don't know where it ends, and that's the interesting part. Can I buy a piece of land on in your country?
I'm not selling them publicly now. There are some companies who wanted to get options in a case we succeed, so this is something which is available but not as a public offer. It's only to the people who are very close to the project now.
So you do own the land?
Well, we are the only owners now, the only private entity as well as the only sovereign entity claiming this piece of land. But of course, we have a little bit of a problem with Croatians now. So, you know, they might give it up to us, the control over territory, easier, or it might take more years. We don't know now. But it really depends on how much organized we can get, how much our citizens will be serious about the project.
Maybe I can ask a final question then, Viet. Like, according to John Locke, you only own something if you have mixed it with your own labor, right? And right now it's still barren land. So if I would go there tomorrow and I would actually build a house there, I would own it and not you, right?
Yes, that's what happened with the Liberland Settlement Association. They just simply went there to this island, this nice sandy island, and they stick their flag there. And I recognized this piece of land to be dedicated to LSA because they made enormous effort during the summer to settle that piece of land. They organized most of our settlement efforts in that area.
So until people have actually built infrastructure, it's still a race, and everyone can still try to own pieces of it without paying you.
Yeah, well, it would of course be nice if that person did something which seriously helped Liberland.
Right. Yeah. Like send an email to the president and then try to come up with an arrangement. Okay. Well, it's very thought-provoking, and thanks so much, Viet, for sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much.